Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash, and I want to say Shalom to Akim and Akwath out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled Rules for Thee, but Not for He. All right? It's basically a reiterized version of rules for me but not for thee, or rules for thee but not for me, right? So this comes from a Reddit post that I saw, and I guess it's a thing that's been going around. So the what was his name? Luigi Maggioni, all right, was basically charged with errorism. All right. All right. You can see it. It says Luigi Maggioni charged with murder as act of errorism. Okay, I'm not going to say the T. And the United Healthcare CEO killing. So that's what they're labeling this guy as. And I thought it was a little interesting, as so did other people, that this was considered an act of errorism while so many other events were not. And it's just quite interesting to me. So let's go ahead and go and look at this post. This is the first one. And I had it in the correct order. I just messed it up. It says, this is from the Seraphs. It says, Dylan Roof. All right. This is Dylan Roof here. Dylan Roof killed 9 black people trying to start a race war. He wasn't charged with errorism. Okay. Now you can see he posted the picture, and it has 2 things side by side. It says Dylan Roof said he wanted to start a race war, friends say. And then another one said the reasons why Dylan Roof wasn't charged with errorism. Okay. And it says there's one set of rules for protecting the rich, and there's another set of rules for everybody else. We're on our own. And the real reason is, that they don't like what it has spurred, okay? They don't like the idea that they're the target of attack now, okay? They had no problem when it was us dying in the street, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They would never label someone an errorist, or if they did, it was a rare occurrence in those cases. But all of a sudden, when it's them, all right, when it's CEOs, it's bigwigs, it's executives, now they're gonna charge, because they don't want it to be a bigger movement, and because people have talked about it, people have been, talking about going and basically doing a repeat of what this guy has done, okay? And that doesn't show you. That shows you these people in the world are fucking done, man. All right. And a matter of fact, the scripture for that is, let's go ahead and get that. This is 2nd Esdras 9:3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquake. Actually, a matter of fact, we'll go up from verse 1. 2nd Esdras 9:1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest the part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So it's on its way, man. And we're at the end here, man. And this is how people act at the fall of societies. Okay, this is exactly how people act. And we know at some point, they're gonna try to, they're just gonna be calling everybody errorists, right? And they're even setting up that type of stuff for our people, all right? When we wouldn't hurt a fly, man, because the Lord gave us instruction right here. Let's go and get it. It says, who revengeth shall find vengeance. We're scared of our Lord. We're not scared of you, but we are afraid of our Lord. We have fear of the Lord. In Ecclesiasticus 28:1, it says, he that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance. So we're not to we can get this as well. This is Romans 12 and 19. It says, "Dearly beloved," and that's speaking to us, "avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord." Okay? So there you go. And also in 20 it says, "Therefore if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head." Okay? And that's another thing. So that's the spirit that we're in. Okay? If an Edomite asks us, "Hey man, I really need some food," all right, then we'll give it to him. Okay? And as many of us have done before, you're not really supposed to speak of occurrences that you've given donation on, because don't tell when you give charity. KJV, there's a scripture. Matthew 6 and 3. It says, we'll just get it in here because I can't find it in the regular King James version that we usually use up here. But I'm not gonna even do that. I'm just gonna do it like this. So again, right up here before we type it in, you see Ecclesiastes 28:1. We're not supposed to give revenge, all right? Because if we do that, then we're gonna find vengeance from the Lord. So we don't want us to get messed up. But we know they're gonna try to paint us eventually, as these type of people, the errorists, right? That's what they're gonna try to do. They're already, Vocab Malone's already doing that shit, all right? But we wouldn't hurt a fly, man. All right, it's not for us to do anything. All right, it's the Lord. All right, it's not our job. All right, that's like going to the CEO and taking his, no pun intended, going to the CEO and taking over his job. No. If we're just a baseline, here it is. We work in the factory. We go, we're gonna sit in the CEO's office and start doing all the paperwork? No, that's not how things go, man. Okay, so we gotta know our place. So the Lord is the one who revenge. All right, but if vengeance is the Lord. All right, going back into verse 19, "Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord." That's the Lord's job. We're not going to try to take his job. Well, they're going to do this. We're not going to hurt nobody. We'll hurt your feelings. We're not going to hurt you physically, all right, or cause you no harm, all right, other than emotional damage. Emotional damage, right? That's the only type of hurt you're going to get from us, is your feelings hurt through your shirt. All right, crying. That's the only thing you're going to get. We're not going to lay hands on you or hit you, unless you try to hit us. All right, but that's just defending ourselves at that point. If you come up and punch us in the nose, yeah, we might swing back. All right, but we're not going to go out and incite violence or do any of this type of shit. That's not our job. All right, the Lord is the one who pays people back. And I'm just saying that, and a lot of us have said that before. It's just leaving a paper trail, because these devils are going to try to say, "Oh, they did this." We don't hurt people. That's not our job, man. If we go out and do something like that, our ass is grass. The Lord's going to kill us for that. You think we want to die like that? No. We don't want the Most High to take us out, so we don't do things like that. All right, but at the same time, when things like that happen, we report on and say, "Hey, that's the type of stuff that's going to happen. That's the judgment of the Lord." All right, that's an act of the Lord, vengeance going out. Okay? That's the act of it. We're not going to do it, all right? Lord willing. Matthew 6 and 3, it says, "But when thou doest alms," and I was talking about this earlier, and I just want to prove it because it says, prove what the scriptures say, prove all things. "But when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth, that thine alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly." So you're not supposed to go around, I donated to this homeless guy. I gave this money to this guy. And you might be with somebody when you give them some money, or you might see the apostles do it when they're out on the highways and byways and someone asks for money. You might see it happen, or the brothers or elders, right? You might see it, but they're not specifically telling you. It just happened to happen on camera. Okay, they would have done it even if they were off of camera. So just wanted to get that out there, for, I don't know, through the Spirit, maybe someone needed to hear that. And it comes off as boasting when you do it too. I gave away money to this guy. It comes off as boastful, like almost like pride. And going back into verse 20, it says, "Therefore, if thine enemy hunger," which, brought that to the table. All right, that's why we brought that scripture to the table, because we were reading this scripture and wanted to get that out there. Romans 12 and 20, "Therefore, if thy enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head." And when you give to an Edomite, I don't necessarily like to give to Edomites a lot, because I feel like their blessings will come, one way or another. All right, but without saying if I've done it in the past or not, It's just, you know, it's if they're hungry, they're hungry, man. You know, it's just one of those things, you know. And it's, you know, when you do that, imagine you're on the top, and now all of a sudden you got the person in this society that's on the bottom, and they're basically feeding you. That's gonna, like it says, it shall heap coals of fire on his head. It's gonna make him feel bad, all right, because he's your enemy and you have to feed him. Yeah, man. So look, it talks as we read down, um, in Second Esdras 9. But going up to the very first verse, it talks about measuring the time diligently, you know, and paying attention to the signs of the times and looking at the signs. And this event, all right, that happened with this Luigi guy is really exemplary of the signs of the times that we're in. They're uproars of people. People aren't really sad. They're celebrating because they're sick of these rich people that are oppressing them. And you know, that's the people are sick of you know, a lack of justice and being, you know, tormented by the rich and being on the bottom. All right, it's even to the point where the Edomites are getting sick of the other Edomites being on top of them. You have the Edomites mad at the Edomites, you know. In this guy's secular talk, he actually had a point with what he's saying here, and this is exactly why they're doing that. It says, charging Luigi with errorism is a part of a broader plan to infiltrate in circles where people express no sympathy for the CEO. Just like that woman getting arrested in Florida for telling Blue Cross that they're next after she had her claim denied. And that's not circumspect. That's dumb to say that too. It says they want to ban anti-corporate organizing under the guise of erroristic threats. They're pulling out all the stops to get you to shut up and accept your corporate overlords and never question gangster capitalists profiting off of your misery and death. Basically, the silencing of freedom of speech. They don't, and that's you know, and brothers have talked about this before. They eventually want this internet to go away and all these things. They don't want, you know, YouTube comments, none of that. They don't want anywhere where anybody can organize an anti-corporate and anti-corporateness. All right, for lack of a better word. They don't want anybody to being able to form militias or offshoot groups, or, you know, what the word, I'm looking for a word here. You know, groups that would be considered in opposition to them. All right, anarchist societies. They don't want, you know, anybody thinking these type of ideologies. They don't want, like it says, they want to ban anti-corporate organizing. All right, and under this guise, all right, that they're doing, is we fall into that category as well, because we're anti-corporate. We talk about the Edomites and their wickedness and how they own everything. All right, we would be considered anti-corporate. All right, all these people that are against these rich people, anti-corporate. All right, any ones that are against the big league banking families, anti-corporate. Okay, and we're all enemies to them. All right, so to them, all right, they all consider us just errorists. All right, or if they don't consider us yet, they're going to try to paint the scene and paint the picture to make us look that way. All right, we already know they're going to try to do it with us, with who we are. All right, they're going to be trying to do it with everybody. They're trying to anti-corporate. Oh, you're an errorist, or you're a errorist sympathizer, or something along those lines, man. Because really, they're afraid, and they don't want you to speak up against what they're doing. They want you to stay in the place. Okay, stay in your place. Don't speak. All right, don't say nothing. All right, we rule you, and you do not say anything about it. You do not organize against us. You do not talk against us. You do not make videos against us. You do not sing about us. You do not write about us. You listen, you obey, and you submit. That's what they want, and that's, you know, that's all part of their new world order and their beast system, with having the microchip, you know, implanted within you, that digital, that RFID. All right, that's that digital device that's planted within your skin. All right, that's mentioned in Revelation. And you're not going to be able to buy or sell that. It's going to be able to tell what you bought, what you didn't buy, how much carbon you're using, who you are. You know, it goes all with that CBDC, that social credit score as well. All right. So it's that social bank. So it's the social credit what is it? Social credit. How does it go? It's social credit score, CBDC. All right. It's something. It's CBDC. There's a wider term for it, the CBN, CDC, or whatever. I know, but no, there's something, but it's like a CBDCSC or something. Social bank, social bank, central bank digital currency social management system or whatever. All right, CBDC SMBC, yeah, social, social central bank digital currency social management system or whatever. There's a I can't remember what it went by, but there was a whole thing, basically tying them in together. I can't remember what the abbreviation for it was, but yeah, man, it's all part of their control. All right, their control and wanting to know what you do, where you do, and who knows what can have. They already have microphones and everything, microphones in your monitors, microphones in your phones, microphones in your TVs. All right, and they've already been, FBI and old CIA employees have came out and said, yeah, they've even said that if you turn off your phone, all right, and even if you take out the battery, we can still hear you. All right, check this out. FBI, taking phone battery out can still hear. Check this out. Right here.
Take the battery out of your phone. If you take the battery out of your phone, I can still listen to you. In the old days when you took the batteries out, you take the batteries out and think you're good and you go in there and skiff and you can talk about whatever you want. Well, I could still listen to you.
Yeah.
We were doing stuff that you could never find what we were doing, ever, and you never will. And it's in every piece of equipment right now, in every chip right now, there's stuff. And where are we buying all the chips from?
China.
And those guys are a bunch of chuds, but I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of if he was or wasn't part of that, it's all true, man. And they have many different ways to listen to you, man. They got your phones, they got your AirPods now even have microphones in them. Your TVs, they've had them. All right, video game systems, everything, man. Everything. You got your phones. Hell, man. I know I'm being listened to 100% because I can say Siri and my phone will come right on. I have the Google thing that I use to turn off my lights and stuff and check the weather and stuff, and I've had that. And some people be like, "Oh, I don't want that in my house." That they're gonna listen to you using that. They're gonna listen to you on everything. I guess you better not have a phone then, huh? Because they're gonna listen to you on that. And if you don't have a phone, better not have a TV, because the smart TVs now, guess what? They can have it. And some of them, guess what? Even their remotes have microphones in them. Okay? And yes, you can say, hey, you can talk to your phone through your, talk to your TV through your remote. If you don't have that, you better go get and hope that it's old enough, get a CRT TV and just get a fucking VHS, or a VCR, all right, and watch VHSs. And you better, but it's... And even then, they have all sorts of things, man. They can trace you through Wi-Fi. Better never have no Wi-Fi at all, okay? Because they can actually see where you are in your house. Wi-Fi used to as camera. Look at this.
How about, can we go from Wi-Fi radio signals, sort of like the Wi-Fi routers in your house, they're bouncing off radio signals that work sort of like sonar. Can you go from that to where human beings are, to images? So what they did is they had, a camera looking at a space with people in it. That's sort of like coming in from one eye. The other eye is the radio signals, so sonar from the Wi-Fi router. And they just learned to predict, like, this is where the human beings are. Then they took away the camera. So all the AI had was the language of radio signals bouncing around a room. And this is what they're able to reconstruct.
There you go.
Real-time 3D pose estimation, right? So suddenly AI has turned every Wi-Fi router into a camera that can work in the dark, specially tuned for tracking living beings.
Yep.
So what they did.
So there you go. They know where you are, how you are, what position you're in, what you're doing, what you're saying at all given times, man. So you think, any of these devices, not having none of this. You better not have no Wi-Fi. You better not have no phones. You better not have no electronic devices at all. All right, at all. And then on top of that, you got to wonder if any of your house has any of those things naturally in them. You know, so take with that as what you are. It's all a part of control. Okay, that's the ultimate goal for these devils, is pure control. To say what you can say, when you can say it, how you say it, when you walk, when you sit down, when you sleep, when you wake up, what you eat, when you eat it. All right, everything. It's all part of their control. It says, this person says, the consequence of these actions by the overly wealthy have been recorded in history multiple times. The more rapacious they become, the more it becomes a matter of when and not if. It's true. It's not a matter of when, if these things are going to happen. It's a matter of when, because people are tired. Okay, and unlike us, they don't have any law to abide by. They don't have a biblical law. So these people out in the world, they'll just go out and do it, right? Children gunned down on the regular. It's a part of life. One CEO is gunned down. Society is sick. And it's true. You know, they don't care. It says, for it to be errorism, doesn't it have to be politically or religiously motivated? It seems like Luigi just wanted his health care taken care of, which is why he was here with me on Australia. You know, it's that meme. You know, and I mean, by technical definition, yeah, sure, they could get him. Charging him with errorism. And I looked up, what is errorism? So it is the use of violence or a threat of violence to achieve political, religious, social, or economic goals. Now, in order to necessarily charge him with errorism, you have to be able to rightfully prove that he, in fact, wanted there to be a riot against CEOs. Okay? That he wanted the world to incite violence against CEOs. So you'd have to be able to prove that. All right. The goal of errorism is to create fear in the public and achieve a political objective. Errorist acts can include using lethal force against civilians. So in that case, you know, aren't police errorists, right? And again, of course, put the T on there because I can't. I don't want that to pop up. It might still, you know, show up in whatever rhythm of the algo that they have. It says damaging civilian areas, buildings, or infrastructure. Whoa, hold up. Okay, no, okay, wow, look at that, retroactively, okay. So, by that definition, yeah, see, that would be considered a errorist massacre. It was errorism, right? So, let's go ahead and get, and you know, and a lot of times, and they're saying this, okay, they're saying this. If you would have went, you know, years ago, this would have never been, the thing. As a matter of fact, let's view the history and see, how far can we go back? Curious here. Let's see. Nothing at all before. So, yeah, so you can see right here. Yeah, so check it out. Show you that they changed things relatively recently. So right here, this is the same page. All right, this is from 2019. Okay, same thing. Okay. Well, let me go see Tulsa Race Riot. Let's see. It just links us to this now. Okay, so it's the same thing. All right, so it's like him. It says the Tulsa Race Massacre, also known as the Tulsa Race Riot at Black Wall Street Massacre, the Black Wall Street Massacre, was a 2-day-long white supremacist errorist massacre. Okay, so this is how it is in 2024. But to show you, it was never originally considered an errorist attack. They're retroactively going and changing things. Here's 2019. Okay, it says the Tulsa Race Riot, or Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921, took place on May 31st and June 1st, 1921, when mobs of whites attacked black residents and businesses of the Greenwood District, Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is considered one of the worst incidents of racial violence in the history of the United States. The attack, carried out on the ground and by air, destroyed more than 35 blocks of the district, at the time the wealthiest black community in the United States. Where is it mentioning errorism? Is it in here anywhere? It might be. Let's see. No, nowhere in the page does it mention errorism. Why is this only now? Because if I type that in now, see, it's all over this page. It's not over here. It only talks about terror and violence. Nowhere else does it mention anything about terrorism. See? Why is that? Why is that? Okay? Now that, oh no, it was now. Why? Because we're starting to get smart about it? We're starting to say what the fuck's up with the double standard? What's up with the rules for thee, but not for he? All right? And he, of course, being this guy Luigi, all right? Why is it rules for rules for thee but not for he? Okay? So, or rules for he but not for thee. Really, backwards on this one. But why is he being charged as an errorist? But why, going back over here, so now we know errorism is, we can get another, here's more versions of errorism. Targeting a larger spectrum of society, so damaging civilian areas, buildings, and infrastructure. So yeah, the Tulsa race riot, that was in fact errorism, but back in 2019, before they changed it, it wasn't considered one. All right, what about all the actions against the slaves? That was errorism by definition. Okay, causing loss of life, injury, or widespread illness or displacement of people. The whole transatlantic slave trade, the Trail of Tears, those were all acts of errorism. Okay, so there you go. What's up with the rules for thee, but not for, rules for me, but not for thee, or rules for he, but not for thee? All right. Why is it that, if a Jake, all right, goes and does something, they can label it as this, but if it's an Edomite, nope, not at all. Right? And this, look at this. This was the Charleston church shooting that, and this guy Dylan Roof, an Edomite, did, and even his friends, like it was up in here. All right. His friends even said he wanted to start a race war. All right, and even further than that, going into the thing, it said he was a neo-Confederate, white supremacist, neo-Nazi, neo-Confederate mass murderer. Okay, and he who perpetrated the Charleston church shooting at Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston, South Carolina. Killed 9 people, all African Americans, as they say, Israelites, including a senior pastor and state senator Clementa C. Pinnicky. Okay, and injured a 10th person. So there you go. He later confessed that he admitted the shooting in hopes of inciting a race war. Okay, Roof's actions have largely been described as domestic errorism, but it wasn't officially. It wasn't official. Was he ever charged with domestic? Let's see. He got charged with hate crimes involving intent to kill, obstruction of religious exercise. Obstruction of religious exercise, use of a firearm, murder, possession of a weapon. That was it. No errorism at all. So, what's up with that? What about all this list? You can go and look up on Wikipedia racially motivated violence against African Americans. All right, Jakes. That's what they call our people. All right, Mexicans, African Americans. Right? They put different names on our people. We're Israelites. Okay, we're not from Africa. All right, none of us are. So even if some of us live there, we're not African Americans. All right, you don't see, it's just ridiculous. You don't hear white people being called European Americans. So it's just weird. All right, and they're actually from Europe. So this is all this list of all these different killings and hate crimes against racially motivated attacks and violence against, so-called Negroes, okay? Our people, okay? And this is just against African Americans. I'm sure there's a whole page for racially motivated violence against, well, let's go and look that up. Against Mexicans, Latino. Yep, right here. So we got racially motivated violence against Hispanic and Latino Americans. Look at all these. All right, not quite so many, but still quite a few. All right, the Zoot Suit riots. Yeah, there's a big one. All right. You know, you see them. Bloody Christmas. So it's just, you know, why were none of these, or rarely any of these, ever considered to be errorism, right? Like, for example, why isn't there more talk about this? Okay, it says in 2010, an African American teenager, an Israelite, in Baltimore, Maryland, was beaten by 2 Orthodox Jewish men in the neighborhood of Upper Park Heights. Why isn't this? Why? Let's see. Why wasn't it considered errorism? Okay, why? So, there you go. Why was it not considered that? Because rules for thee, but not for he. Okay? And rules for thee, but not for he. And he really, in this case, you know, being rules for thee, but not for he, it really, you know, I got it set up as, you know, this guy Luigi, but rules for he really is just, in this case, and let's rephrase it. Rules for thee, all right, is anybody in this society, this world, but not for he. He's being these, you know, these Edomites, all right, these big league bankers. They're allowed to do whatever they want, all right. But when anytime it's our people or anything, and you don't ever know, Luigi Maggioni could be a Jake. He could be, because he's the last name Maggioni. He's Italian. Okay, if he goes back to Sicilian blood, all right, the original Sicilians were so-called black folk. So you never know, man. So that could be why they're, you know, hammering him so hard. And the real reason they're hammering him so hard is because he got a wealthy businessman, all right. And a lot of these wealthy businessmen are shitting in their fucking pants now. Oh, why? No, they're scared. Okay, so there's no justice in the society, all right. There's no justice in the society at all. So this is Isaiah 59:9. It says, "Therefore is judgment far from us. Neither doth justice overtake us. We wait for light, but behold." Come on. "We wait for light, but behold obscurity, for brightness, but we walk in darkness." Now, we can go ahead and get Isaiah 5:9. Let's see how much the Good News Translation butchers it, because we know it's like a 50-50 with the Good News Translation. It either knows what it's talking about, or it has no idea what it's talking about at all. So let's get Isaiah 59:9. It says, people confess their sin. It says, The people say, "Now we know why Yahweh does not save us from those who oppress us. We hope for light to walk by, but there is only darkness." There's only darkness in this society. All right, it's also we're here for punishment. All right, so there's not going to be a whole bunch of well, actually, we can go down to verse 11. We don't even have to do it. It says, we roar all like bears." A little bit of a tongue twister. "We roar all like bears, and mourn sore like doves. We look for judgment, but there is none, for salvation, but it is far off from us." Continuing to 11. It says, it's not what I wanted. It says, we are frightened and distressed. We long for Yahweh to save us from oppression and wrong, but nothing happens. It's because we're here for punishment, really, at the end of the day, man. And there's not going to be any righteousness in a society that's founded upon wickedness. All right, you think these devils are going to be, "Oh, you know what? You're right. We were wrong. All right, we're being super evil right now. Our bad." All right, no, they're not going to do that. They're wicked. They're demons. They're devils, right? So Habakkuk 1:4 reads, "Therefore the law is slack." There's no, they're not being holders of the law. Really, it's not their law to anyway, all right, but that's why there's no righteous here, because righteousness, we were given the law to know what to do, what not to do, how to act, how not to act, how to behave. Okay, if you don't have that, these people don't know how to behave. They're akin to animals. They're animalistic, all right, beasts, barbarians, okay, animals. So Habakkuk 1:4 says, "Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth." And right there, boom, right there is a big heavy hitter. "For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth." You can't have someone who's wicked and doesn't know righteousness or judgment or correct judgment to let good judgment go forth. No, the wrong judgment's always going to be made. All right, Esau doesn't know right from wrong. Okay, they think all the good things are bad and all the bad are good. All right, for example, let's go and get a scripture. "Woe to them that call evil good, and good evil, that put light for darkness, and darkness for light, and sweet for bitter, and bitter for sweet." All right, roughly paraphrasing. It's backwards. We'll read it how it is. Isaiah 5:20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. And that's these people, as well as these people that are dwelling within the society, or these societies, not just America, but everywhere. All right? You can't expect people that don't know right from wrong and that call good bad and bad good and light dark and dark light and bitter sweet and sweet bitter. You can't expect those people to judge righteous judgment, all right? The wrong judgment's going to go forth. They're going to put the innocent people away, so-called innocent, right? The Lord has those people going away for a reason. They're going to put the so-called innocent people away, all right? They're going to kill the so-called good people. They're going to big up the so-called bad people. It's just everything the way it should be, and this society is going to be backwards, all right? If kids should be learning about, you know, what different animals are and learning about, you know, who they are, and especially Israelite kids learning about the Bible, all right, and learning about the Lord. In this society, they're going to learn about sex. They're going to learn about homosexuals. They're going to learn about killing. They're going to learn about all this weird shit that they shouldn't even be in a child's mind, and there shouldn't be no drag queens and stuff like that in these classrooms. But that's what they're going to put. All right. Meanwhile, they should be learning, you know, actual knowledge. All right, things that can help them in life. But no, all right, it's the schools are not set up for that. Okay, because the society's ran by the wicked, so the wicked doesn't have the school set up for that. You know, why they should be for teaching, they're not really for teaching, they're for indoctrination. Okay, so you can't expect the society to, you know, have any of it go on and get anything good out of the society, because it's a society that's just purely wicked. But Jake continuously loves this place. They want to stay here. All right. Meanwhile, they're being lied to. They're being robbed. They're being killed. They're being shot down in the street. All right. There's all sorts of weird Batiman stuff going around. All right. And it's fucking all upside down and backwards. But they want to stay here, even though there's so many rules for thee, but not for he being in the position of power. Okay. There's rules for rules that they can. No, I can do it, but you can't. All right. I can do it, but you can't. Just because I do it doesn't mean you can do it, right? That's how the society is formulated upon. The poor stay poor, the rich stay rich, the middle class slowly dissolves, all right? And learn your fucking place, you scum. That's what they think, all right? Learn your place. All right, you stay on the bottom, I stay up on the top. You don't touch me at all. Now, we can go to your society and do all this, but don't you dare ever talk against me, say anything against me, try to usurp authority over me, try to put me down, all right, try to take me out, right? They want to rule. They want to rule, and they don't want anybody infringing upon that. That's why they make rules for all the people in this society, but not for them. You know, for example, they can go and kill people all they want, okay, and be wicked, all right? But they don't want that to happen in society because they know it would happen to them. All right, meanwhile, you got whistleblowers dying left and right, mysteriously killing themselves all of a sudden, you know, but they say you can't kill. Killing is wrong. You do it all the time, you devils, right? You do it all the time. So this is Nahum 3:1, and then we're going to go ahead and close out. It says, woe to the bloody city, speaking of Babylon, woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. You want to stay here, okay? Being lied to, being robbed, being killed, okay? And being under a bunch of rules that you have to live by, but they don't have to live by, okay? You can't make money without doing this. You can't get into a position of wealth without doing this. It's not like you can actually have a good business and build it up yourself. No, you have to be corrupt in the society to get riches, to get money. All right, you have to be willing to scam people, to lie to people, or to do something strange for a piece of change, as Elder Manat Zabba of GMS South Carolina always says. Do something strange for a piece of change. All right, you want to get rich? Well, bend over this table. You want to get rich? All right, we'll lie to people. You want to get rich? All right, you got to kill people. All right, you want to get rich? Steal from people. All right, scam them. Okay, that's what the society wants you to do. If you do good, honest work, you're never going to get anywhere in the society, because the society does not prosper and flourish upon good, honest work. It relies upon murderers and thieves and robbery and lying. Okay. That's what the society is founded upon, and that's who these people that stole this land, all right, built their society upon, was lying, robbery, murder, and death, okay? And it's never going to change, because that's how they like to run their kingdom. That's how their kingdom's ruled, okay? If you don't like it, womp womp, there's nothing you can do about it. Too bad, so sad, go cry about it, right? That's how they think about it. So you're never going to be able to, it's either the only way to get away from the society is to get rid of the society. Okay, which means spiritually departing, okay, and not being a part of this world. Of course, we have to live here, but not, going on with the common rabble. all right, of the world, all right, but being, spiritually minded, all right, and ultimately looking for a new heaven, where in a new world, a new earth, and a new world wherein dwelleth righteousness. Let's close out with that. New heavens, new heaven. Right here, this is 2 Peter 3:13. It says, we'll just go from 13. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Okay? So we have to be in a good accord too, because it says, wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. So we don't want to be blameless. So we have to be doing what's right, which means we can't be doing wickedness. All right, we can't be hurting people and doing stuff like that. So we're waiting for the society to crumble. And is it going to be done by us? No, it's going to be done when Yahushua comes back to bring vengeance upon the world and save his elect. Okay, and this is what we're looking for. We're looking for, according to his promise, Lord's promise, a new heaven and a new earth. All right, wherein dwelleth righteousness, because there's none here. Okay, so that's what we're waiting for, because you're not going to get no sort of payback or reparations or justice or nothing in this society. Okay, unless the Lord, takes somebody out, then that's a form of justice. But on a grand scale of things, all right, the society will not be rooted in justice. All right, the Lord's justice and judgment will unfold, but the people aren't going to see it as such. We will see it as such because we know through the scriptures and spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But these people won't. They'll just see it as another death. Right. So that's been a lesson. I don't know how long we went for. 40 minutes? Yeah, about 42 minutes. So that's the lesson. This society, there's nothing in this society but just robbery and lies and murder and that's it. That's it. There's nothing here for us. All right, and we have to live by a set of rules that these people don't live by. That's why, we can't get rich like these people get rich. And if you see, Jake do get rich, there's black people rich. Yeah, well, they had to do something strange for a piece of change. And that are rules for thee, but not for he. So that's the lesson. Lord was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of this wicked-ass society. Until next one, Lord willing, shalom.